Trying to see if these glasses work any better. Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. All right, so the first few minutes of YouTube, I can't really see you guys with this one. The first few minutes on YouTube takes a minute for everybody to pop in because this is totally unexpected, but that's the way Abba works, right? Right, guys? So, I'm wearing this hat for a reason. I only wear it when I have to work. I mean, like physical body, like labor, outside work. And that is why I wore it, because we are going to talk about something. I don't know how to describe it. We are going to talk about what is coming. Yes, it is Shabbat. I've been sitting out here this morning, as I always do. If the weather permits, I always, since we moved here, come out here, sit at the table, pray, talk to Abba, read my Bible, do a word study. Whatever the Spirit leads me to do is what I do in the morning. Some days it will be an hour. Some days it could be 3 hours. It just depends on my time, if I have to work or not. It depends on if it's too hot out here, if I decide to go in. Most of the time, though, I do this for a while. And I did not get up before the sun today, but that is something that I really I have to start doing, because I shared in my last video that Abba wanted me to pray at the various prayer hours. Let me double check what I told you on that real fast. He really led me to do that, to pray during the hours of 9, 12, and 3, I believe it is. Yes, 9 a.m., 12 p.m., and 3 p.m. To stop whatever I'm doing and pray. And he's also led me to pray, like I said, sometime between 12 a.m. and 6 a.m. So get up when it's dark, pray. I don't really have a specific prayer, but it's to commit to praying during those hours. So I shared that the other day, and I didn't get up this morning because I worked last night and I was tired. I know that's not an excuse, but it is what it is. So I'm going to pray. We'll get started. I know that YouTube takes its sweet time letting people know that I am here and I am talking to you. So hopefully while I pray, others will jump in. All right? Abba, I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. And I love you so very much. I love you so much. And you are so good. You're so, so good to us. Sometimes it's overwhelming, your goodness. Sometimes it's just so overwhelming, the amount of love that you have for each of us. And so I thank you. This is your Shabbat, your holy day, your set apart day, Father. I give you the glory, the praise, and the honor for that. I'm so grateful that we have these days of rest where I can just sit with you, Abba, for as long as I want and just meet with you. And let the Ruach teach me and give me understanding and wisdom from your word. I thank you for the confirmations, Father, the quick and speedy confirmations on things I was praying for confirmation for. So, Abba, I just asked, as the Spirit led me this morning to do this video, I submit myself unto you now. Let me decrease so that the Ruach may increase, and let only what you want to be revealed and said be revealed and said without anything that I add to it. So I give the Ruach Hakodesh full name. I pray that you would bless this broadcast, Father. I take authority over the airways now in Yahushua HaMashiach's name. I pray that my signal is strong, Father, that you would bless it and anoint these words. In Yahushua HaMashiach's name we pray. Amen and amen. All right. Hallelujah. get a sip of coffee really fast. My voice has been going in and out, the past 24 hours, which is just weird. All right. So Abba led me to do this video because, as I shared, this is my prayer book. And I wrote something in here about a week ago, and it was just led by the Spirit. Like, sometimes I'll write things down that I don't remember that I wrote down. And upon reading it, I prayed this for myself. However, Abba was like, I didn't give that to you just for you. You need to tell them. And I'm like, okay. So he led me to share that, as well as a little bit more about the video I did yesterday, about the confirmation, and about what is coming and what we should be doing and what he is watching watching the Natsarim do in this hour. Like, because he's taking notes. Are my children doing this? Are my children doing this? Are they spreading the word? Are they doing X, Y, and Z like I said? All right. So we're going to talk about that. And that does involve a little bit more about prepping, a little bit more about being alert, and those things. So first I want to share, as I was praying one day, I was thinking about Noah, and as the last days will be as the days of Noah. We all know that. We've heard it. We know it. It's ingrained in us, right? And, we obviously see that we are in those days. The horrific things that you think people would never do are being done. And in my email, like I shared with you, there was just this wicked, it was an alert for believers email. I can't remember. It might have been Natural News, but people in China were taking aborted fetuses. And like I shared before, making soup. That is horrific. That is disgusting. That is the epitome of all evil. I mean, these things are happening. They're happening around us twice. I don't know if you've seen, but I've watched two videos by two brothers that I follow. I've followed for a while, or not followed, but watched their YouTube channel. But they have concrete evidence of, I guess you would say, they are demons taking human form. And so that's becoming a normal thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we could be in a public place. And many times these demons are in human form, but it is near an occultic type store, if you know what I mean, in the city or something. So these things are happening quickly. They're here, they're upon us. We are in the days of Noah. We know that. And I began to pray for my family, as I do every day. And like I said, I pray a fire hedge of protection around my family, around your families. It's just something he led me to do for quite some time. Like Job. Job had a fire hedge of protection around his family, and Hasatan couldn't get to him. It was only upon the removal of that hedge that he was allowed to do the things he did to Job. All right? So that is a powerful hedge of protection, and we should all be praying that around our families in this hour. And I've been doing that, and I said, Abba, when you told Noah to build the ark, right? I'm sure he didn't just talk to him once about it. He had to be having an ongoing conversation with him throughout a period of time to give him the specific instructions about building it, possibly to give him a little bit of insight on what was coming and those sorts of things. And so that's what I was asking him. I'm saying, well, you decided you were going to save Noah and his family because he was a righteous man, right? And there's more history to that than I'm going to go into here, but he was in the line of Methuselah. and Enoch. So anyway, I'm like, so you had to talk to him over a period of time, and maybe he prayed and, you know, was getting more instructions and conversation about the actual event itself. And then he got the instructions to begin to build. Well, we're there. That's where we're at, people. Okay? The end of days is not going to be like 12 months. It's not going to be, you know, 365 days. It's in Abba's time. And we know his time is not our time, right? And so we don't know how long the end of days actually last as far as understanding it in our time. But we know we are close. We know we're closer than ever. All the signs are here. And we're in the birth pains, right? And so I was praying and I said, Abba, I pray for an ark warning, an actual similar warning that you gave to Noah, that I can pray or ask for, that you will, I wrote down an actual ark warning to save our family and other Nazarenes and their families in the coming days and months. That's what I wrote down. And what I meant by that was, okay, so we told Noah, like, I'm going to save you and your family, and I want you to build this ark, and here's the instructions and the blueprints, etc. Get busy. And we know that while he was building the ark, there were scoffers and mockers and just people making fun of him, saying that, oh, that's not happening, blah, blah, blah. And they were going about their day, which is exactly what's happening today, right? And so I was praying, all right, so we're in this time, Abba. So I pray that you would give each of us, each of your Natsarim, that kind of warning. I said, just as you told Noah, because he told Noah, he said something that had never been seen before was about to take place. Well, guess what? That's going to happen to us. Okay. And so I said, you told that to Noah, Abba, and you've told that to us. Many, many, many prophets, Natsarim, children, everybody who is a believer. He's told nothing that has ever been done or seen before is about to take place. And it was over a year ago that he gave me the instructions as his scribe to record all of these events that are about to take place and everything else he's told me to do up till this point. So I wrote down, I pray and believe that Yahuwah, he will warn us and provide each Natsarim their ark assignment in these last days. So that's the point. Abba has an ark assignment for each one of you, for each of you. And it's different for all of us. So there was one Noah, right? And he had to build the ark. And he had to maintain his faith during that time. And he had to preach the word because he was told to do that. So guess what? We're called to do the same thing right now. And Abba has an ark assignment for you and your family, just like he has given me an ark assignment. And the ark assignment, and I'll just share this with you because I think all of you know, but if you don't, over a year ago, Abba he just briefly told me this, and he was like, pray for your land. Pray for the land. And I was like, oh, okay. And what I mean by that, and I'm not going to go into long details, but there is a situation, and I'm believing for a certain piece of land that he has led me to pray for. And he began to tell me over a year ago, really press in, really believe for this land to be released to you, really believe for the deed to be in your hand. Okay. And at the time he told me to begin praying for that land, he didn't tell me any more information. So over the period of a year, I have consistently prayed for the release of that land. And slowly, he has released the ark assignment within that prayer. And that ark assignment for me, for my husband, for us, is to build a last days safe haven on that land, a community. I mean, the closest thing I can explain it would be like a hippie commune for Natsarim. But that's not what I mean, it's gonna be a community of Natsarim in these end days, a safe haven, a refuge for all of us to come to together because they're being set up. Abba has commissioned many to build these. They are all over the United States, okay? There's already a map of them. So anyway, he told me that probably about 6 months ago, and then over a period of months, slowly releasing a little more and a little more information, little bits at a time. He would give me this detail or that instruction. And I don't know if I have all of it in this journal, but he has given me such a blueprint for this assignment. It's so funny because he's so good to us, you guys. Like, it's not just a safe haven, like a camp for Nazarene, but he's given me instructions on, um, people's job duties while we live together. Like, he says, "I want you to have a group of people who are interceding for this. I want you to have a group of people who are rebuking demons here," you know? And, like, he's literally broken it up to where all of us that are living in this safe haven at the same time, okay, we are all dwelling together in peace, in unity, in the midst of the chaos of the end days, right? But we are all, just like in the book of Acts, we are all living with one mind and one accord. And that is unto him. And he's told me in the middle of my camp, or his camp, sorry, in the middle of the camp um, will be the tent of meeting. And that's what I'm calling it because that's what he said. Just like in the days of Moses, a tent of meeting in the middle of the camp, and then all of the tents, homes, yurts, I don't know what to call them, but that'll be around, and it will be in a wooded area. But like I said, he's released the entire blueprints to me at this point, everything. And he gave me Habakkuk 3. He said, "Write the vision, make it plain, hold fast to it, and continue to pray." And that's what I've been doing. And he told me that several months ago, and I've been on it. And I'm praying. And though it has not manifested in the physical realm, it's manifested in the spiritual realm. It exists there. And he's going to release it. And I know beyond a shadow of a doubt because his word goes forth and it does what he commands it to do and does not return void. But the point is that you have an ark assignment. And so press in right now because this is the time to pray for that. Really press in and believe and ask for your ark assignment. And then begin to pray, pray that he will save you and your family. He will, but you need to pray for it in these last days. There's going to be many of us who have our families torn apart by the coming events of the end days, but we've got to be strong. And so that moves me into the next thing. Like I said on a video recently, you have to make your legs as heavy as lead. And what I mean by that is you have to stand strong in the word, in these hours. You can't be moved by the events. You can't be moved by the coming calamities. You can't be moved by wicked people making fun of you, persecuting you, especially the coming persecution when there is physical harm done to the body. We have to be strong and stand our ground because there's going to be many who do not heed this warning now, and then they will be like, they'll be weak. and they'll cave and they'll take the mark. And guess what? There's no going back after that. There's no going back after that. So it's best now that you just decide that you're going to die for Yahusha. Once you make that decision, then you can firmly ground yourself in the word and be strong, because that's the truth. That's just the truth. We will die for Yahusha. This physical body will die, right? But we need to keep our mind on an eternal perspective. Do not, I have to tell myself that all day, every day. Eternal perspective, because there's a lot of deception going on, and it's going to get worse. There's a lot of, distractions to take our focus off of what is important. So we have to discipline our minds, discipline our thoughts, discipline ourselves, and we have to ask for the help. And we need to be praying every day for greater level of discernment, greater levels of discernment, greater levels of wisdom. And believe me, wisdom is your sister, just like the word says. Make it your sister. Because just this morning, he had me write down all about wisdom. I love wisdom. And that is a key. He showed me this morning the last days, the end of days instructions about wisdom. Wisdom says that blessed are those who guard her ways, listen to discipline and become wise. So train your body now, discipline yourself, cut yourself off from the things that entangle and enslave you. Cut yourself off from eating too much sugar, cut yourself off from eating fake food, cut yourself off from smoking, God forbid if you smoke, cut yourself off if you whatever can entangle you and trap you and enslave you and cause you to fall victim to the other side. Those who find wisdom and hold to her will live. That's an instruction for the end days. Wisdom shouts simplicity. Remember, everything with Abba is simple. The design of our bodies is complex, but many times the remedies for things are so simple. Walk in the way of understanding. And remember, the fear of Yahuwah is the beginning of wisdom. And the wage of the righteous is life. So we must love discipline and love knowledge, because the thoughts of the righteous are right ruling. We must take every thought captive into obedience, right? And so these are all things I've heard before, but Abba wanted me to write them down because they are the path of right ruling and life. And if we haven't been living this way, we need to start today. Okay? So, that being said, I'm wearing this hat because we need to be workers. We need to be, hands in the mud, working every day to spread the gospel. Abba's watching. And though we might be awake to the hour and the time and what we're going through, we have to still be out there working and bringing the message to the lost, to the broken, to the sick, to the wicked even. We have to continue to spread the gospel message at a greater rate than ever before. And I'm speaking to myself too. We need to be worker bees right now in the kingdom, like high time. And he's really put that on my heart. Not only like he's going to give us personal assignments, but we have personal assignments and we have community assignments, And so it's just like if you get up and you go to a job 8 to 5, you need to get up and go to work for Abba right now, just like that. Oh, shalom. I love you. Yes. So recap if you just came on. It's a lot, so go back and watch it, but you'll be blessed. So we need to be worker bees in the kingdom right now, spreading the gospel message, especially with the calamities and the disasters that are happening, we need to be serving in whatever way we can our local communities and the people in need. Um, giving food to the poor, blankets to the homeless at a greater rate than we've ever done before, because it could save a person's life spiritually. And that's what we need to be doing. Abba is watching us right now to see if we are doing that in this hour. And so that's why I have this hat on, because we are commissioned to work 24/7 for the kingdom right now. We are in high time, like go time. And I heard a brief prophetic word this morning, and this is the end of what I want to share because it just fooled me. Um, she's her part of her prophetic word was that Abba was watching believers, and this means Natsarim and traditional. And by traditional Christian, I mean they are his beloveds, but maybe not as mature as some. That's all I mean by that. But there's not enough of that going on. He's not seeing us working. We're all like, we know the time and we're praying, but it's like each person's praying for most of the time, praying for themselves and their families, most of the time prepping for themselves and their families. And yes, here and there, you're doing what Abba's called you to do, but it needs to be done. And her prophetic word was that he wasn't seeing it done on a mass level, like a big level. And that's what she was saying. And I was just like, whoa. But then she confirmed to me. So yesterday's video, I was walking, and I shared this before, but last year, Abba told me to buy 3 dresses. I've shared this a lot. I bought one of the 3 dresses in February, and these are all linen dresses. Um, and then I procrastinated. And then I kept some of I've gone through my clothes several times. I've gotten rid of all my jeans and those things. I will confess that I was only wearing a small amount of makeup on my face. Like, um, he convicted me a lot about not wearing eyeliner. He did that in March because I used to always wear dark eyeliner up here and a little bit down here. And one day I started to put it on because I was going to work, and I did this eye, but not this eye. And he said, as I was looking in the mirror, he goes, "Look how evil that side looks." And I was like, "Oh." So I wiped it off and I was like, "Okay." So I stopped wearing dark eyeliner, but I still wear mascara and like not really lipstick, but lip gloss or whatever. Um, and so to me, I wasn't wearing a lot of makeup, but then he just convicted me and he was like, no, throw it all away. And I was like, okay, because I don't wear a lot anyway. And I'm going to be brutally honest right now because I overplucked my eyebrows. They're like not all there. So I do fill them in a little bit. But I said, can I please do that just for a little bit? And I didn't get a no. So anyway, but I do want to say that. So what the 3 dresses, he told me last year to buy those 3 dresses. And I kept hearing, it wasn't like an audible voice that said, I want you to wear these. No, it was just 3 dresses. That's the only word I heard over and over and over again. And so I was like, okay. So I put them in my Amazon cart and they've been sitting there. I haven't taken them out. They've just been sitting there. And a couple of days ago, I could go into the whole testimony about this job I was working before we moved here, or right when we moved here. The Abba had blessed us, so blessed us with putting this person in our life because he helped us get this house. And anyway, he took that job away because I was being disobedient. And I knew that's what it was. And part of it was because I had to work on Shabbat and it was breaking my heart. Like it was convicting me so bad and there was no way to get around it. And so I'd been praying for that. But long story short, I was wearing jeans to work in, and was convicting me about it because it was the food industry business, food truck primarily, and I was like, "How am I gonna work in a skirt?" You know? And yeah, so that he took that job, and I knew he did. I knew it. It was plain as day. I knew exactly. I knew what it was. So anyway, back to the 3 dresses. Um, so you know how Israel, they went through the Red Sea, right? They come to the other side. They're praising Yah. "Oh, we made it. Thank you. Look at this massive miracle he just did." Then they walk, and then they eat all their food, and then they're like, "We're hungry. We're so hungry." And then, he gives manna from heaven, another miracle. And then they're like, a little while later, "Well, this is not enough. What are we gonna do? Why don't we just go back to Egypt?" You know how they start complaining, right? And then all the time we're like, "Wow, why did Israel do that? They saw these massive miracles. Why?" And so I'll read that 1 second. Um, so anyway, we're always judging Israel, like, how did they do that after they saw all those miracles happen? Well, that's what I did. I just did that a few days ago. I said, "Abba, please, please confirm the 3 dresses to me." After a year of him telling me. I'm like, "Really? What is wrong with you, Amy?" And, but he's so sweet and he's so loving to us because he didn't, like, just smack me upside my head like I needed to be. He was just like, I was walking to work yesterday, and through another sister and something else I heard, he was like, "This is why I'm telling you and you alone to wear 3 dresses." And it was because I have a rebellious spirit in me and I get distracted easily. And he says, "I need you focused. I need you focused." And this eliminates the distractions. And not only that, you are an ambassador to my kingdom and you need to dress in your uniforms. I was like, "Oh, oh my goodness." And I just started crying. I was like, and he says, "I don't tell all of my children the same things. They're all different and unique, and each one has unique personalities." And, just like me, I have 5 kids. They're all different. They all want different things. They've got different personalities. They wear different clothes. They don't act alike. And he's explaining that to me as if as if I didn't know that. And so we said, and this is why I'm sharing, because the time we are going into, the time we're coming into now, loose the ties of this world. If you're holding on to anything in this world, let go. Let go. You've got to make that decision today. So he's called me to wear 3 linen dresses. That's my outfits for eternity, I guess. But it's the simplicity of it. Not only that, he said they must be linen because linen protects the body from 5G. Linen protects the body from the EMF whatevers. He's shown me that. He led me through a whole study. And so for those of us who have been called to do, well, for everybody really, just to know that, but he's putting things in place to keep us protected so that we can continue in our work, right? And that's for all of his children. But we've all got different unique assignments. We've all got different things to do in this time. And so if he asks you to let go of something, you don't understand why, just do it because he is setting it up to be easier to stay focused on Yahusha, to stay focused on him during this time. Because the distractions are going to get worse. The enemy is throwing all of his arrows and bullets and everything he's got at us all at one time. And thank you, Ruina, for your videos on the armor. I shared it. That was like so powerful, so powerful. And we need to armor up every day, every day. Because we won't survive. We won't survive if we don't. And I don't know about you, but I don't want the enemy taking me out early. I've got a job to do. And so we need to get dressed for work and report to work every day. Every day. And we don't clock out. Clock out until we're in the Garden of Eden. You know? We don't clock out until we're finished the job. So that is the time we're going into. We need to be physically preparing, okay? Preparing our mind, preparing our hearts, preparing our bodies physically, training them by fasting and prayer and eating from the earth, real food, not fake food, because fake food's going to be loaded with nanotechnology, but I'm not getting into that today. Um, and when coming down the road, I'm not talking about tomorrow. We know that there are things coming, and they are coming. It's not like they're not coming. They are coming, and it just is. I don't know how else to explain it to you. It just is. It's going to happen. And we need to be with sound mind and calm, just like Yahusha says. Don't worry, these things have to happen to bring us into the end, you know? So let us be calm, do our job, share the message, love one another truly, love our neighbors, you know, do a good job, walk in righteousness, walk in peace and love. And we need to be fighting, warring with evil, primarily in the night hours. We need to be warring with evil in the night hours. Because, yeah, a lot of people, he's so awesome. A lot of people are suffering. And I have an urgent prayer request. I don't know if my daughter's going to see this or not, but I do. Please pray for my oldest daughter. I can't go into it. This is video, but I believe that she's being attacked on a high level, and I need lots of prayers for her. She's 24, and partly because she lives 1,500 miles away from me. I'm praying. Abba's told me he's bringing her home, but things in her life are not quite right, and I need extra prayer for her. It's urgent for her life. So anyway, and that's because the enemy can't get at me, so this is what he's doing. But yes, we need to be warring at night. So like I told you, he's commissioned me to pray at 9 a.m., 12 p.m., 3 p.m., and then between the hours of 12 a.m. and 6 a.m. To pray and war at night. He's also, commissioned me to fast. And I say that because I don't like to say it because my rebellious nature will kick in. But so the last thing I want to touch on is that he has commissioned us to build the Sparrow and Dove Refuge, a last days safe haven in Virginia. And I'm pressing in, praying for the release of that land. I've been doing this as Abba has instructed for over the past year. And it's going to be just like that, just like in the book of Acts, where we all sell everything, put it together, and live and dwell together in this four season. So wherever you are, pray about that. And because all of our resources right now, all of our personal resources need to be sown back into the kingdom right now. Sure, I mean, yes, we need to buy food and pay our bills, but he really put this on my heart this morning when I was praying that all of our extra resources need to be sown back into the kingdom, back into the end days missions. Okay, so that's what I'm going to be doing from this day forward. That's what he has just said. And that means, like, if I have stuff laying around, I'm going to sell it and then I'm going to put it towards that, because that is what matters. Keep your eyes focused on what matters. Thank you so much. My goodness, let me read this message. Oh, really? Oh, linen dresses? I'm sorry I didn't see that till just now, but that is amazing. Oh, that is so awesome. And it does heal the body, and it does. I mean, he showed me this in many studies about healing from the 5G and chemtrails and stuff, all that stuff. Oh, and I will tell you this, he's had me buying, and I'm doing it as I can afford. Like, he provides the money, and then I buy what he tells me. So he had me buy, uh, oh my gosh, my brain is not working. Um, he had me buy colloidal silver to have on hand, and iodine, sea kelp or iodine. He's been slowly telling me what supplements that we need to have as a medicine cabinet, and then I'm growing some of my own to harvest, and to prep that way to have a natural medicine cabinet, because the days are coming where, and I'm sure if you have regular medications that you're on, if you can, like if it's heart medication or something, stock up on it. Just think about that. Stock up on it. Um, because that's what he's leading me to do. And he's been telling me this for a while, and I actually just started deciding that I was going to buy it as I could, because and then there's a lot of people doing it. He's told a lot of Natsarim to do that. So um, I just wanted to put that out there because yes, it's a big, big deal. It's just proper planning, We just need to be thinking in that way. So I pray I said everything Abba wanted me to say. And the 3 dress thing is just so amazing. So I'm gonna be getting rid of everything except for like 1 outfit to sleep in. Everything else is gonna go, and it will streamline my focus like nobody's business. And I am actually rewriting a little bit in the book that I just published. So I'm gonna take it down, I'm gonna unpublish it, add to it the things that Abba reminded me that I forgot, because it is an end days field manual and it needs to have a little bit more information, and then I'll republish it August 5th. So as soon as I do that, I will be giving out copies. Just let me know and I will send you a copy. You can put it here or go to my Instagram, which should be somewhere on this page, or my Patreon, either way. And then eventually we know that YouTube's being funny and loves everybody, right? So eventually I will only be doing videos on Patreon instead of here, but they're not going to be like, they'll be free. They won't be where you have to pay for them, because that's the way it should be. So, all right. Just want to check and please pray for the land. Pray for the release of my land inheritance. And that's really what it is. It's the release of my land inheritance, and I'm praying for it because there's some hearts and minds that need to be changed to make that happen. Just a little side note. I don't know if any of you watch Perry Stone, and I'm saying this because these are kind of bigger known Christian preachers, and Franklin Graham, and Kim Clement. Well, Kim Clement prophesied exactly what we're living right now, and I wrote this down in April 2009. That's pretty amazing. 2, Franklin Graham did a article last week sometime, I believe it was, and he warned Christians about the coming persecution and how bad it was going to get. And that's lets me know, like, if it's on that level, I mean, I don't know about you, but that just was like, whoa. Yeah, okay, we're almost there. And then Perry Stone did a very quick little video a couple days ago that popped up and I happened to watch, where he said to the public, we are in the birth pangs. He said, he announced it, like, and that's huge because he's very careful about what he says concerning the last days. And so that just like confirmed in 3 ways that yes, we are in that time. And so this is why the focus, this is why things are need to come in closer, and we need to be close to Abba. We need to be led by the Spirit every day. All we do. We have to hear him clearly. And I know for me that means fasting, because that connection. And so, oh, yes. And that's so funny you say that, because I made my bug out bag like 2 weeks ago, a week ago, something like that. But pray for my husband, because he's like, whatever. He knows, but it's like almost in denial. And I think a lot of believers are kind of denying what's happening. So we need to pray for them, that their eyes will be open, their spirits quickened. They will be able to see and hear, because it'll be like a thief in the night. Bam, one day. Um, so yes, 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 yes. We need to be praying. Oh, I didn't say that, did I? Oh, so there's a prophetic word. I'm gonna share this, then I'm done, guys, because I'm on limited Wi-Fi too. Um, which praise Yah. I'm honestly, it was such a huge blessing to be here. We're not near anything. We're like 40 miles from a grocery store. Um, but the only bad thing is I'm on the peninsula of Virginia. So that's like the ocean. Um, which is beautiful, but I don't know. Abba said we'd leave this house and go to the land. He's confirmed that with me several times. But anyway, there was prophetic word given that he was raising up kingdom ambassadors who were unconventional, but these ambassadors would be old school. And that confirmed the dresses to me, because I had been praying in a way like the prophets of old. And I said, Abba, could you, like in the days of the prophets of old, take that old way, but make it new today? That's what I had been praying. And then that word was given. And then he's like, well, that's why I told you to wear the 3 dresses. And so yesterday I was walking to work and I found this staff, like, or a walking stick, and it was a paper tree. So I peeled the stuff off, and it had this little, oh, sorry, my cat was getting a bird. It had this little vine curled around it, right? And it made me think of the staff Moses carried, the one he had to make with the serpent to save Israel when they were being bad. And I was like, whoa. And then I got really angry in my spirit, because I was like, if people look at me walking down the road, because I was walking to work, I said, if people look at me walking down the road, I said, Abba, this makes me really angry. They're going to think of witchcraft instead of the Bible. And that's when I started praying. And he was like, well, that's why I'm bringing back the old school. I was like, oh, all right. Just like then, he's going to pit us against one another, like in the Old Testament. All right, beloveds, that's all I have to share. I pray you have a beautiful, beautiful, restful Shabbat. And I will keep you posted as I am led by the Spirit. I love you. I'm so happy you got to show up. That doesn't happen very often. Hallelujah. I'm so blessed by my Bible. I love it. I love reading everything that's restored. It's so powerful. It's been awesome. So awesome. So hallelujah. I'm praying for a Sefer though too. One day. All right. I love you. Be blessed. I'm praying for you. If you have specific prayer requests, just message me, because I add them to my prayer warrior book. That's what this is. And on my last video, if you have not made your war binder, go watch that video and make a war binder. It will be your tool for the last days to have on hand. And I give you the instructions. I think it's in not my last video, the one before that, about making your war binder. So hallelujah. All right. I love you. Shabbat shalom. Mwah. Hallelujah.